Oh, but Smitty, Cook's gonna be fine. I own him in 3 leagues. What are you talking about?
Cook, not happy at all. Does Cook want out? It appears so until he gets a deal. But will he get a deal? Is Buffalo in the business of paying this man like a top 5 running back? I don't think so. I think this is troubled waters for the man known as James Cook. And I think Ray Davis might be going to planet. He's at least going to the moon, but this is a guy that could be a Mars man mid-season. That's why he's labeled a mid-season monster. The mid-season monsters are basically Moon Men, Mars Men, Saturn Men, Jupiter Men in some way, shape, or form at some point during the season, but probably not in week 1, although this situation might vault Ray Davis into a mid-season monster in week 1 form. Hard to say, but we are here to speak about it. We're also here to talk about Christian McCaffrey's birthday. He turns 29. Yikes. We're drafting as well. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, James Cook is upset. And this is new news. This is not, the guy selling his home. Let me read these 2 quotes from Adam Schefter today. This is a handful of hours ago. I don't think we'll be seeing him in Buffalo anytime soon. That's what Adam Schefter said about James Cook. Very dialed in Adam Schefter. Of course, he's not right about everything. Sometimes, he makes predictions and observations, and he cloudies it up like as if it's part of the facts that he's been handed or phone calls he's made. But Schefter said 2 different things. He said, I don't think we'll see him in Buffalo anytime soon. That's crazy. You think that he's going to be okay, do you?
Alert. Panic mode initiated.
Maybe, but when Adam Schefter tells you, I don't think we'll see him in Buffalo anytime soon, I think it's time for a Panic Chamber episode.
You are entering the Panic Chamber, brought to you by theattic.shop. Vintage movie tees and hoodies. Are you a panicked Peter? Let's find out. You are entering the Panic Chamber. Chamber.
Open up this Panic Chamber. Oh, look who's there. I swear to you, I didn't put him there. He's been there. That's his old graphic too. He's been there since the last Panic Chamber episode. Well, what do you know? What do you know? I planned on placing him here right now because I had a graphic already made, but he was the most recent Panic Chamber episode. I forgot. Here we are again, and James Cook is definitely a player to be panicked on. Now, I know the Cook owners in the chat, you can identify them right away when they say, he'll be fine. Everything's good. They'll pay him. This is not, Smitty, you're acting a little bit crazy here. They're going to pay him. He'll be fine. He might hold in, but he'll be fine, Smitty. This guy had close to 20 rushing touchdowns last year, Smitty. He's going to be fine. Of course they want to pay him. Let me tell you something. Where's my football? James Cook had an anomaly type season last year. He was down in yards, okay? He was up in touchdowns. This is a hard to predict offense. It goes through Josh Allen. Josh Allen could run way more this year, or they could give Ray Davis, who had 6 touchdowns last year. 3 rushing, 3 receiving, this midseason monster, Ray Davis. He had 6 touchdowns last year on never starting a game. He was a non-starter, and he scored 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing. Do you know how many James Cook had the year prior? 2. I believe it was. If someone wants to check me on that one. I believe it was 2 touchdowns. No, maybe it was. Was it 2? Was it 2 or was it 4? It might have been 4 total rushing touchdowns. I think that's what it was. 4 touchdowns. This man, Ray Davis, over here on the Midseason Monsters, he had 1 less. I think that's correct. Someone fact check me on that. But Ray Davis had 3 rushing touchdowns last year. The year prior, Cook had 4 on the ground. So, in Davis had 6 total last year as a rook. This is one of those situations where I believe they love Ray Davis. I believe they cherish and love James Cook, and they should. James Cook played well last year. James Cook's above average. He reminds me of Judkins. I think Judkins is a very good running back, and he'll do very well in Cleveland. But these 2 running backs, to me, are, you put them in good situations, you're going to get really good fantasy production. But are they elite players? Are they head and shoulders above the median in the league? Probably not. I think Kenneth Walker is not playing like a top 10 running back because he keeps getting hurt. Better than Cook from a skill set perspective? Absolutely. You know, this is a player, and let's not get mixed up. Jordan Mason's the same way. Jordan Mason's not some top 5 running back, but he's a guy that can gobble up carries if he's put in an advantageous position. And he has a particular set of skills, Jordan Mason, to just be very good at 1 or 2 things, and he'll be some sort of midseason savior. And Mason, is also a midseason monster. What a great-looking group of midseason monsters. As you'll notice, no one on here, except for maybe Milrow and Sharps and maybe Grendo, have this, I could be an elite player if I ever was handed sole ownership of the starting role on my team. The midseason monsters, sometimes they're advantageous players in advantageous positions. And so Ray Davis is not some absolute top 5 running back skilled player either, but he's going to step up, and he does a couple things really well. And James Cook is replaceable. I think that's what I'm really trying to tell you. And so if he thinks he can push this thing to distance, the Buffalo Bills have zero interest in paying him top 5 running back numbers or dollars. They do. They have zero interest in paying him top 5 running back money. Why would they? This is a system. Cook is a system running back. Cook did not do any of this in previous years. He's still young, but he did not score the amount of touchdowns he scored last year, remotely close, combined in his other seasons. So Cook is someone that you're going to just say, look, he was down in yards last year. He's going to have a regression type touchdown season. So even if he signed tomorrow and all was well, he's going to probably disappoint you at his cost of entry. He's going in some cases the 3rd round, the 4th round. Give me Harvey all day over Cook. All day over Cook. Does somebody really think that Harvey's not going to outscore James Cook? Are we serious? Can somebody tell me in the chat, put it in the receipt? Do you really believe that James Cook is going to outscore RJ Harvey? RJ Harvey goes in round 4. Cook goes in round 3. Don't go near Cook in round 3. That is a total misstep.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Yeah, and I see somebody says, is it crazy to take Harvey in round 2? Yes, bro. He doesn't even go in round 3. Why would you take Harvey in round 2? If you're talking dynasty, that's a whole different ball game. But here we are talking James Cook, who's 1,000% in the panic chamber. He's not only holding out right now. Let's go back to the news. I didn't even finish reading the news. That news too. This guy's a sleeper. Did you see him on the... No, you didn't see him on the Midseason Monsters because he's a revenge tour. Let's go back real quickly to that. Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell clocked at 22.4 miles per hour. Before that, he was in the 20 to 21 range. So he's running 22.4 miles per hour. Mitchell is an H-hand type player, and he is a revenge tour candidate coming back from that ACL tear. Was out all of last year, for the most part, effectively. And he comes into 2025 fully healthy, running 22.4 miles per hour. This is a revenge tour candidate if I've ever seen one. Look at these guys. Hila, Mahomie, Mitchell, Breece Hall, Rashee Rice. That's 5 good-looking revenge tour candidates that are going to eat in 2025.
Let him cook.
back to the news. I get sidetracked like a mofo. Here's what Schefter also said. He has basically disconnected himself from the organization and the city. He put his house up for sale.
Oh, it'll be okay, Smitty. Everything's fine. Smitty, don't listen to this stuff.
It could be fine. It probably will be. More likely than not, he'll probably return, to the field at some point, even if he's holding in, and then he hits the field week 1. He's not what's he gonna do? Call their bluff? No, but it's gonna put him in a position where he could get injured. Wheel Snipe City gifting 1 membership. Appreciate you, Wheel Snipe, dropping the monster gifted membership. Who got that gifted membership, by the way? Does it say? It looks like James Cook was gonna let his ego ruin his career. Yeah, who got the gifted membership from Wheel Snipe? I think it was A-Train. A-Train got it. A-Train, thank Wheel Snipe. Snipe, thank you, pal. But
Smitty, don't worry about it. Adam Schefter saying, I don't think we'll be seeing him in Buffalo anytime soon. Soon means like next week, Smitty.
this is horrible right here. And I'm not saying Schefter can't be wrong, but Schefter's pretty accurate with a lot of things. And when Schefter says, I don't think we'll be seeing him in Buffalo anytime soon, and he's selling his house, he's disconnecting himself from the organization and the city, according to Schefter, and putting his house up for sale. You've got to think that this could be a scenario where the Bills don't even have him on the roster in week 1. What team might trade for James Cook? Could it be the Commanders? Could it be that he just gets kind of moved aside? It's hard to really know. Is there a beef going on that we don't know about? Is this thing worse than we think? Is it going to get wrapped up and him hit the field? The odds are in favor of that. Historically, players try to hold out. They try and make a scene. They try and disrupt things. But what did Ayuk do last year when he disrupted the season? He was the number 1 wide receiver. Right now, Ayuk's coming back to be the number 3 wide receiver, and he's gonna probably lose his, not only his starting job, but he's gonna be the regulated to the 3rd wide receiver, maybe 4th or 5th pass catcher. Ayuk has ruined his career. Just the way he went about the offseason, he ruined his career. Ayuk's trash. James Cook, the thing about Ayuk though, when he held out, is he was the number 1 wide receiver. He was thought to be the number 1. He had come off a big season. He looked the part. And in the beginning part of the offseason, he was worth paying because the money hadn't climbed up. And he coming off such a great year. He had leverage to cause a scene. When you can cause chaos and disrupt your team's ability to plan for week 1, they want to get a deal done. The Buffalo Bills are looking at him and saying this. Yeah, we don't need you. We like you. You're very good in this system. It's a system thing. But Ray Davis can do what you can do. So if you believe that we're going to stop moving and be worried about planning for week 1 without you, we'll move on to this man right here that you see in the bottom left corner. His name is Ray Davis. He's not guaranteed anything. Again, Cook could come back tomorrow. It could all get ironed up, 3 weeks from now, but he enters with a little bit more injury risk. That's the thing that we're talking about here. Even if he holds out or holds in for a lengthy period of time and comes back, he's an injury waiting to happen, and this guy's going to step up and be a midseason monster anyway. But there is a world where this team's going, you're not scaring us, James. You're not like Ayuk was to the Niners at the time when Ayuk held out. Again, Ayuk is trash moving forward until he proves otherwise. But Davis doesn't. This guy's as good as James Cook. You can come in here and say that Cook's better than him. Oh, Smitty, you're crazy if you think James Cook is not better than Ray Davis. You can think whatever you want. You can tell me whatever you want. I honestly don't care. This is what I feel. This is my opinion. It's why I'm live right now, to give you my opinion. I certainly love reading everyone else's opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm giving my opinion. My opinion is Ray Davis can do everything James Cook can do, and in some cases better, in some cases not better. It's a little bit of a different balance between their skill sets, but Ray Davis between the tackles can absolutely crush it. He could crush it. I have no doubt about it. He is not threatening the Buffalo Bills having a good start to the year because the playmaker is not there. They'll move on if he's going to do that. Now, I do think this smells like a potential trade, though, because as Schefter said, that I don't think we'll be seeing him in Buffalo anytime soon. That sounds like a lengthy thing. That sounds like an exploratory thing. Let's explore trade. Let me request a trade. Okay. Go see what you can get. Do you think the Buffalo Bills are going to deny his trade request? You think they're going to go in there and go, hey, I want to trade. I'm James Cook and I want to trade. Buffalo's going to go, okay, go see what you can get us. Well, certainly, you're just sitting there anyway. Go see what you can get us. Do the legwork. And if you can get a trade worked out, an extension along with it, because no team is going to trade for him and not extend him so he gets paid if he goes and does the legwork, go do the legwork. This sounds exploratory. I don't think we'll be seeing him in Buffalo anytime soon. A trade request pending. Trade request pending. That's what I'm going to tell you. If this is true and he's nowhere near showing up in Buffalo, a trade request is next. And Buffalo will oblige. They'll say, go look, young man. Get us your best shot. Go do it. Now, there's probably a lot of you, I'd say at least 3 or 4 of you that are in the chat right now. I can't read it. I haven't read it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe no one said anything. I imagine at least 1 or 2 of you said,
Smitty, he'll be fine. He'll be fine, Smitty. I have him in 3 leagues. He'll be fine. Stop talking about this, Smitty. You're giving me anxiety.
There's going to be 4 or 5. There's at least 3 or 4 or 5, especially in the comments later. This guy is every bit as good as this guy. Like Sesame Street. One of these situations is exactly like the other. And this kid can produce what... He looks old. He looks like his uncle. He looks like 5 times older than Cook, and he still can do it. Bad knees and all. No, he doesn't have bad knees. He looks like he has bad knees, but he's ready to rumble. How is he not older than me? Can I ask a serious question? Who looks older? Who looks older? I could be his dad. I could be Ray Davis's dad. That's crazy. I don't know. That's wild. But anyway, Ray Davis to the moon. Ray Davis Smith to the moon. I might be his papa. Phone lines will be open in a minute. They're not open right now, Matt. That's why you don't have a phone number. So this second part of this quote, he has basically disconnected himself from the organization and the city, means that he wants out. This is the trade request, the pending trade request that's coming in. So, yeah, Uncle Ray, Joe, is what we need to call him moving forward. Uncle Ray, I love it. Uncle Ray going to the moon. Who said there's an age limit on astronauts? This guy's going to the moon. Uncle Ray's going to the moon. All right, now on to the more uncomfortable situation. This is going to make people, well, not everybody, but some people upset. But we got to talk about it. I mean, look, I understand. I understand this is not what everybody wants to hear, but Christian McCaffrey had a birthday. He turned 29. Let's give him a standing ovation. Let's remember Christian McCaffrey has given us years of glorious production. Years of fantasy football goodness. There's no hate here. There's no hatred here. We're not haters of Christian McCaffrey. We're not Niner haters or anything like that. But we're here to celebrate that this guy's done a lot for us in the fantasy football community. You know, as a creator, as a player, we've enjoyed the fruits of his labor. And he turned 29 today. So happy birthday first and foremost.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
But 29 years of age is not a good thing, CMC. And his injury history mixed with his knee injury last year. And keep in mind that his patellar tendonitis, or his Achilles, chronic Achilles tendonitis, bilateral in both of his legs, isn't the reason he stopped playing last year, even though it could have very well been with a flare-up. It's not gone. This is not your Oshgood Slaughter, or, you know, hey, Smitty, I have people that do this to me all the time. Smitty, can I give you some insight for your show?
I had Achilles tendonitis in high school, and it painful. So you can tell your followers that I also had this.
I get that a lot. It's cute, but this is not your high school Achilles tendonitis. This is not, you kind of overworked your foot over and over repetitiously, let it heal. Let it rest for a month and you're good to go and you're fine. Chronic bilateral Achilles tendon itis. Yes, medical advancements make this maybe more doable for a guy to get out there, play 4 weeks, play 2 months maybe. Maybe he gives us that Joe Mixon special last year where he plays pretty damn amazing for 10 weeks and then craps the bed in double-digit weeks and leaves everyone hanging. Christian McCaffrey has done this before. He's lost you a championship when he's had an amazing year. People remember 2 years ago, Christian McCaffrey sat out the second half of week 17, and he might have got you to the championship, but he lost you the championship. Tyreek Hill does this a lot too. He'll get you to the championship and lose you the championship. So with a player with that kind of history of leaving you hanging at the end of the year, on top of having the longest injury history, the most painful injury history, where he's missing pretty much half of his career and the other half he's dominating. I get it, but it's a 2-year type of thing. McCaffrey, 2 years on, 2 years off, 2 years on, and then now this makes sense that it would be 2 years off. This is the second year of being off. I want nothing to do with Christian McCaffrey in 2025. You know this. We've made plenty of videos around this topic, and it's not like you can't cuff him. So there is an explanation, a variable, a way to go about this that could safeguard you a little bit. You take McCaffrey in round 2. You think it's a steal. It might be a steal. You take Garendo. You take Jordan James. You take Garendo only. You monitor Jordan James in a league where your bench is smaller maybe, but you almost have to have that mindset of I'm sitting there hovering over Jordan James to add him, or I'm just doing it in advance. But you literally have to have that cuffed situation. Now, you could say that's your safeguard, and I at least, Smitty, approve you attempting to safeguard your Christian McCaffrey share. But why not just draft Bucky? Why not just go after a better, safer player? Why not go get a player and still go get Garendo and have the best of both worlds? That's my approach. That's what I'm doing. The upside for Christian McCaffrey, it's there, but the risk is equally as large. And the scenario we have when we really look at it is, if I'm wrong and McCaffrey does well, I'm still not wrong if I draft a safer player that plays just as good as him. Then all I'm doing is I'm wrong in that the person next to me, they got McCaffrey to play 16 games, 17 games. Good for them. But we also crush with our pick. Now, the other scenario where if Christian McCaffrey goes down and I take my safer player and I'm right, I'm also owning Garendo and I'm double right, and I'm winning a league because I have Garendo starting, and I also have the safer player, Bucky, who's playing and not injured, and I'm doubled down Donnie all of a sudden in a positive way. And now I'm just screaming from the rooftops going, who wants Garendo via trade because I just scored a big one?
Mashed potatoes!
And I tend to remember somebody being a midseason monster with the first name starting with an I, his last name starting with a G. His name is Isaac Garendo. So both of the backups to the starters that we're talking about tonight in James Cook and Christian McCaffrey, both of the backups are on the midseason monster list, have been on the midseason monster list, and are going to be, in my opinion, at least one of these guys a midseason monster in 2025. I'm here for it. Most of you are here for it. Christian McCaffrey, big fat avoid in 2025. And you can tell me, oh, but if he's healthy, this is the worst. This is the worst and only response that people have for me on Christian McCaffrey. You ready? This is Bob. This is Bob. This is Worried William. This is Scared Scotty. This is Petrified Peter. They all sound a little like this. Ready? They say something along the lines of,
Smitty, but when he's healthy, he's the best player in football. but when and if he's healthy, he's the best player in football.
You know what? You could say that about Adrian Peterson right now.
When Adrian Peterson was in his prime, he's the best player in football.
Like, it doesn't do anything. You're talking about the past. You're acting like you got the DeLorean and you set the dial to 1985. You're acting like you've got the Gray's Book Sports Almanac And you know that this guy's got one more season left. When he was great, he was good. Thank you, Steve. When the sun rises, it might get warmer. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is the only response anybody ever has. Is
Smitty, but when he's healthy, he's the best back in football. He's been, at least in the past. If we talk about the past, Smitty, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. So my argument is this: Christian McCaffrey's really damn good when he's healthy back in the past.
So Jesse says, so you won me 3 leagues because of Gibbs, because Monty was out half the season. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you giving me some credit there, my boy. Thank you, my boy. Doing it live. Niner goggles. They are thick, them Niner goggles. And I understand them. I get it. I don't know if anybody's even supporting Christian McCaffrey in the chat. I haven't read a bunch of it. Let's see what some of you are saying. Gibbs alone is fine. Of course he is. If anybody thinks that Monty is a hindrance on Gibbs, you don't know what you're talking about. And the phone line's open for you. The phone line's open for all of you. Whether you like what I said today, didn't like what I said tonight, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I can't wait for if you're anti-Gibbs being running back 1 because of Monty, please call in. Please call in. We've got the 586, I believe. 586, you're live. Hold on, Matt. We're not getting any audio. I gotta add something here. 1 second, bro. Let me pull this up and just click one thing. We should be good to go. If I don't restart my computer every time we go live, sometimes we have an issue. So can you hear me, Matt?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All good.
Yeah, you're good. You're loud. Okay. What can I do for you, Matt?
Smitty, so I actually have a question. I took your advice and I
Good
took
for
RJ Harvey over James Cook, Chase Brown. I'm in a dynasty startup. We're drafting 24 hours per pick.
Yeah. Let me just real quickly Chase Brown and Harvey, I've never really talked a lot about that comparison. You could easily go back and forth on that. I want to make that known clear to people watching. But yeah, James Cook, I want RJ Harvey. I think you got to be careful though when we start having this conversation because some of these are hypotheticals. RJ Harvey sometimes goes in round 5, bro. James Cook goes in 3. So when we have this conversation, you have to be very careful. You're not putting yourself in a position where you're overpaying for RJ Harvey because I said I want him over James Cook. When I say I want RJ Harvey over James Cook, I'm not drafting him in the same round though. I'm merely going in round 3. James Cook goes in round 3. Let me go wide receiver shopping here. And then I grab Harvey in round 4. So just be careful. Like you, the way you're phrasing that, somebody watching right now thinks that I told you to draft RJ Harvey and Chase Brown over James Cook, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'd rather have them. Big difference.
Yeah, well, I took Harvey at 5'10".
Okay. Just making sure the way you worded it, I'm just making sure everybody understands what game I'm playing here. The game of manipulating, massaging ADP, making it my own.
Let him cook.
100%. Can I ask you a super quick question? I have back-to-back picks, and I want to pick a wide receiver here. And if I tell you who's on the board, and I'm not going to come back to you, Smitty made me pick him.
I don't care if you say that or not anyway, so go ahead.
Sweet. So the guys on the board for wide receivers, I've got Devontae. It's the 6-1 pick. Devontae Smith, Roma Dunze, Xavier Worthy, DJ Moore, those guys. Metcalf, Olave, that's where we're at in the draft.
Okay, hold on. So DK, Olave,
Devontae Smith, Roma Dunze.
Keep going, because I have a feeling there's somebody here that I like better. You got Worthy, you said Worthy.
Smith, DJ Moore, Flowers, Metcalf, Chris Olave, Mike Evans.
This is what is this, Dynasty?
Yeah, and it's weird. Everyone took wide receivers early.
Yeah, can you tell me, is Hunter available?
Not.
Damn it. I was going to hang up.
Guys, I can tell you who I've picked far.
Yeah, hit me with it. This is his team right here. Okay, go ahead.
Josh Allen at the 1, Sam Laporta. It's tight end premium and it's super flex. So
Okay. Hold on. Josh Allen 1, tight end premium, super flex. Go.
Allen 1, Sam Laporta is my second. Third round reverse. I had to wait, and I took Garrett Wilson as my
Not bad.
took Bucky Irving.
Okay.
Fourth.
We're cooking.
Then RJ Harvey at my 5th.
We're cooking, bro. We're cooking.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what
I have my
quarterbacks?
6th.
Hold on. What quarterbacks are here? I know you want to go wide receiver, but you do have Garrett Wilson.
One.
Okay.
I traded up, and I got Justin Herbert as my quarterback.
That's smooth, bro. That is smooth. What'd you give up by chance?
I gave up. I don't know if it was. I gave up a first and then draft.
It's super flex. It's super flex. Look, let me just tell you this, bro. Herbert is a top 6 quarterback. He just doesn't get to play that right now. But I'm not afraid to draft him as my second quarterback in hopes that things change or he gets traded or, who knows. Okay. Let's see here. Laporta, Garrett Wilson, Herbs, Allen, Bucky, Harvey. Love this team. Give me the RBs that are available. I assume you could start another RB if you wanted in a flex, right? Unless you're playing in some
100%.
weird
Yeah.
league.
I could go running back to back with Harvey here. Totally.
Hendy?
He's not. He's off the board. Chase Brown, James Cook, Kenneth Walker.
Only Chase Brown's to consider here of those. Who else is there? What other running backs?
Joe Mixon, Tuba, Kamara.
Mixon's there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want him. Just kidding. Okay. Any others? Just take a look. Any other running backs?
Kamara, Johnson, Montgomery, Checo.
Okay. What about quarterbacks? Tell me the top quarterbacks. We're probably looking at Worthy or Chase Brown here. We're down to those two. Go ahead. But Worthy's going to give you longevity, so we're probably going Worthy. But go ahead. Keep going.
We got Drake May, Jordan Love.
Wow. Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I don't know what these guys are doing. None of them.
Man, really? Kyler.
I really like Chase Brown. I almost took him.
Jeez, guys, what do we...
I believe in Harvey's longevity, and I believe in his youth. So I was like, you know what?
Bro, part of me is like, damn, who could you have got instead of Herbs now? If you could have got Kyler instead of Herbert, got a freaking Travis Hunter? Jeez.
Oh, Travis Hunter went in the second round.
As he should.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. This is tough, bro. Drake May as well. I don't... the smart play here is Kyler. And then you make some trades later because people will make trades. They may not be drafting smart, but they'll have to trade smarter or it's going to lose this league. I don't know. This is so tough. If it's me, given you have Harvey and Bucky and wide receivers last a whole lot longer, I kind of like Worthy the most of the Chase Brown Worthy situation. But I like Chase Brown a lot. And then it gives you balance, right? When everything's equal, balance wins the day. But Kyler is so good. Guys, we're voting here. Chase Brown, Worthy, Kyler, Drake May. He's already got 2 QBs, though, Allen and Herbs. Can you guys vote right now? Who would you take? Part of me feels like these guys are still going to sleep on freaking quarterback, and you can get one of these two later, or Fields or Dak. Is Dak still there?
Yeah, Dak's here.
So here's what I'm...
McCarthy's still there.
Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking, guys. As much as I like Kyler and May, I'd much rather have Dak a round or so later and go Worthy because I don't think this will last. But they could go on a QB run here and they could all get ripped off the board real quickly. So I'd probably say, yeah, man. Do you guys agree with me on that one? What is the likelihood that Dak falls to your next pick?
I think it's pretty high. I think these guys would take guys like Jordan Love and Baker and Kyler and all that.
A final answer for me. You can look at the chat for a different vote, but I'd say Worthy and then Dak in that order.
Okay. What's your thought on the Dunze? A lot of guys like Dunze's going to be the wide receiver 1.
A lot of guys say that. What about the guys that say Burton's going to be the number 1? DJ Moore's going to be the number 1? They're going to spread it around. There's going to be no number one. They're all going to have 950 yards each. I don't know, bro. Dunze's, I like him, but Burden's the pick that Ben Johnson wanted. This is the St. Brown of the offense, unfortunately. I'm not saying that Dunze can't be good, but he's not at a good spot. Either is Burden to a degree. Chicago is not a good spot overall. It's just not. Sorry. So, yeah, give me Worthy, bro, or Chase Brown. If you have a feeling of Chase Brown, bro, you could come back around and figure out the wide receiver position, get Kyle Williams, if you're feeling Chase Brown and that's somebody you want to see play every single Sunday, it's so close, bro, that you know, this isn't something you should feel like you're making a mistake on that. You could easily find another wide receiver and feel good about it. The only problem is then the Dak option might not be there because then you're going to wait another round. Yeah. So you gotta ask yourself, do you want the balance and then go Dak, or do you want to go running back and then you're forcing yourself in your mind to take a wide receiver the next pick because you're going to be like, I can't go another round without a wide receiver. What other wide receivers? Can you read off the wide receivers after? And the other thing too is like, start looking at veterans, bro. Your team is so good. When you get to like the next round or two and Evans is still sitting there, you grab Evans, young man, and you don't even look back and you just say, he's going to give me, you know, a championship. He'll be just fine. Egbuka.
ADP, I probably
go.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. You want to hear just a couple wide receivers?
Yeah. Tell me where Egbuka is ranked on the ADP. I bet you they have no idea who Egbuka is.
Ranked 86.
Jeez.
Devontae Adams is right next to him.
Adams, that's great too.
Jameson Williams. Mike Evans, 73 ADP.
And where are you at right now in the draft? What pick?
I have the 7th, and I'm at the 6-1, and I have the first pick in the draft.
Okay.
Snake next to me, and I'll have the 7th.
Here's my thinking, and then the running backs are going to fall off. I love Worthy, but you know what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to say go Chase Brown, and then come back around and get Egbuka, Evans, Adams. Don't be afraid to take Adams. Don't be afraid to take Evans. Don't be afraid to say my team is so good right here. I can win now with veterans. Clean up on Adams, Evans. Grab some guys like Kyle Williams later. You know, Ja'Cory Crosky, Merritt. Like, we'll find you some gems that can replenish if those old guys start fading in a year or two. Yeah. I get.
I can call back in tomorrow because it's 24 hours per pick. It might be 2 days before I can even pick at the 7th.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, bro. Nice work. All right, later.
All right, I'm going to go Chase Brown. I appreciate it.
All right. Travis, did you want to add anything? Travis called in real quick. Want to add anything before he hangs up?
No, I agree. If there's that many wide receivers, address the other spots.
Yeah.
Especially if like a run on quarterbacks go or something, there's still a bunch of wide receivers out there.
Yeah. Give me Chase Brown. Give me Chase Brown, and then you're gonna get Adams or Egbuka. I know it, and you probably still get Dak.
All
right, later, bro. Later.
All
right, go ahead, Travis. You're live. Hold real quickly. Let me merge Rock out in, and everybody jump into a. Let's jump into a weekly winner draft right now. So go to Originals tab. For those that want to get in on this, go to the Originals tab. You're going to hit this link right here. The link's pinned in the live chat. Those that want to draft with us tonight, hit this link right here. I just dropped it. I'm pinning it in the live chat. Go to the Originals tab. Click on NFL, which is on that little carousel. It's about midway through. Weekly winners is the third option. And 20-second draft, hit the button. Let's all jump into a weekly winners draft together. They'll fill up quickly. Don't get upset if you don't get in. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, on Ray Davis, I think you and I were actually talking about it last week. I said where they looking at the numbers of Cook and Davis, and they basically just took out coverage time. And Ray Davis has better yards per carry, more explosive, a good amount of missed tackles forced over him, extra yards after contact. And then on top of all that, Ray Davis got a ton of fourth quarter carries with a lead. They already trust him to run the clock out on top of everything.
Yeah.
And he was more productive.
It's gonna be a rude awakening for James Cook to find out that he's not necessarily a guy that they're. Guys, underdog promo code Smitty. Link has been dropped in the live chat. Yeah, they're not. He's gonna have a rude awakening when he finds out that he's not a guy that they need. And to keep in mind, his anomaly touchdown year. It's an anomaly. Regression's gonna happen. He went down in yards. What do you have, like under 1,100 yards, right? He like barely had 1,000. It was like 10. Am I correct on that? It was like 1090 or
1,009.
1,009. He barely had 1,000 yards rushing. He's not going to get those touchdowns again. He's the biggest risk in the third round, period.
And he went down from in 2023. He had 44 catches, 445 receiving yards. He went down to 32 catches, 158 receiving.
Yeah, thank you, Kingdom.
He had 300 less yards total.
Smitty is French. Smitty is French for ahead of the curve. Thank you, pal. One of the nicest things anybody's ever said to me. Smitty's always picking at the end. I don't know why. Whenever I do an underdog draft, it's ridiculous. I'm always 11, 10, or 12. But let's see how this works. Sometimes this works out pretty well. The top guys available: Derrick Henry, Amon Ra, Nico, Neighbors. I'm going to go Neighbors here. Can't go wrong with Neighbors here. That's a great pick. He's a guy I would pick a 5 or 6 if I had to. So we're good with that. Rock out, you're live. Rock out.
Yeah, what situation would you take Devontae Adams?
Go H-Han. Devontae Adams, I loved him at round 4. Remember what? Do you guys remember the live stream where I said Devontae Adams is going to be round 4, and the guy in the chat was like, "You just said Devontae Adams is going to be in round 4. He's in round 3 now." People are so wild, man. The kind of stuff people say to me is so funny. I was crazy for saying he'd be a round 4 pick, and then he climbed straight from round 4 into round 4, then straight to round 5. I'm sorry, round 3. I don't know. I don't love him in 3. I'll be honest. It doesn't mean I don't love him. I just don't love him in 3. By the way, we're doing a weekly winners. It changes the game a little bit. It makes quarterbacks a little more valuable. It also makes players like Achane and Henry and Christian McCaffrey. That's why you see McCaffrey going so high and Henry going so high. Because if they miss time, it doesn't matter. You're trying to win 1 week only. You only need to have the highest scoring week, not tied to one another. No week is related to the other week. There's no accumulation of points. Week 17 has nothing to do with week 1. Anytime you win a week, just a week starting from scratch, you win 20K. But you're against the whole field of, over, I don't know, what is it, 200,000 people? So it's a lot, but it's fun as hell. And the standings throughout the week are fun to watch because, all Sunday people are jumping up and down on the ranking board because it's live and updated. So that's why Achane was a great pick for me there. I loved Achane. Bucky went in the middle of round 2. Bowers, Jonathan Taylor, Lamar, Josh Jacobs, Jaden Daniels, AJ Brown, Kyron Williams. Go ahead, rock out. What else were you saying?
Yeah, I only had like one share, so I was wondering the best spot. So you're saying round 4?
Yeah, I mean, let's see where he goes in this draft. It looks like his ADP is right around Devontae Adams. Where is it at? Did he get taken already? I'm just making sure. No, he's at 39. So that looks like 4. So we're good. Round 4. That's good. Devontae Adams in round 4 is fine. Especially on weekly winners. Weekly winners, that's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. It's actually pretty damn good, frankly. Real quickly, hold on. Let me make my pick first, boys. T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill. On the clock. JSN. I guess I'll go Joe Burrow here. My next pick, I don't mind Kittle. I'm not going to take the usual suspects in this draft. I'm going to try and play ADP to my advantage. There goes Devontae Adams as we talk about him. Breece Hall's not bad here. I queued him just in case I time out. I think I'm going to go Breece Hall here because of his ability to explode and have big games. So I've got big game potential players right here. Malik Neighbors, Devon Achane, Joe Burrow, Breece Hall. This pick makes it tough because there's a lot of players that I like that go a little bit later than this. I don't want to set a bad example and draft anybody too high. So we're going to wait on that. CMC in the second round is so 2023. Someone says I'm going to get rich if you guys leave CMC in round 2. He's not bad in this format, because he could get injured and you still get some run. Rock out, you're on the line right now, and you've got from the 7 spot, you got Puka, this team right here with Puka, Bucky, Jalen Hurts, and Harvey. Very good. Very good. I like that a lot. Ray G, you're in the 5 spot, and you have Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Lab McConkey, George Kittle, Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Josh Allen. Okay, let's see what this slot number 1's going to do. JJ, AJ Brown, Kyron Williams, and Double picks right here. DJ Moore. Not my favorite pick. But that's okay. You do you. You do you, young man. Laporta pick's not bad. Bijan, Jaden Daniels, Chase Brown, and DK. Not too bad from the 2. Let's see here. If CMC isn't there, take Dalvin Cook. Remember when everyone thought Dalvin Cook was going to threaten Breece Hall?
That was insane.
That was so fun.
But we're really worried about it.
We crushed that year at Breece Hall. We absolutely took that thing to the moon. I still have a lot of faith in Breece Hall, hence why I took him around 4. I think Breece Hall is still a monster. People can doubt him all they want. I don't care. Doubt Breece Hall all you want. I could give 2 craps. And you guys are taking all these plays. It's just Snipe City up in here. Some cases rounds early. Joe Mixon. This makes me almost wish I didn't go Joe Burrow, though. I don't mind bully QB in weeklies either. I just don't like it as much. It depends on how it falls, but I would have much rather had I couldn't have drafted Harvey there. It was too early. Could have took Breece there and Harvey at third, just as long as he's in the 4th round. But let's see here. I'm going to time out here if I'm not careful. Oh, my God. I'm going to time out. I timed out on Monty, but that's okay. I had Monty in the queue. Yeah, he could have. He could be really good. That's why I queued him. He wasn't a timeout of a player I didn't want. I had him in the queue, And I didn't organize my queue though, so he definitely may have not been the pick that I wanted right there. But he's still very good in weeklies. He could have two TDs any given week. And if Gibbs ever went down, he would have top 6 to 10 running back numbers. So I don't mind it. Pretty good. Definitely, starving a wide receiver here, but I just didn't want to grab Zay Flowers. I didn't want to grab Ridley, Ted McMillan. None of those guys are my cup of tea.
That picture I sent you on Patreon of Lagway, which came with.
Yeah.
A big.
Yeah. Lagway's a big boy.
And like you would double check and make sure it wasn't like the Hampton picture, where it's like bad angle, photoshopped or something. It's like, I mean, freaking a monster. Makes him look wrong.
Yeah.
On a roll.
I got a question for you, Smitty.
Hazelnut says 2 QBs. I mean, have you not been here all offseason, Hazelnut? I draft 2 QBs all the time. Bully QB is such an advantageous approach in 1 QB best ball. Not in non-best ball. Completely different. It's like a foreign language. Totally different. Go ahead, Bruce. You're live.
Hey, Smitty, my question is this. If Cook does leave, which, eventually he is, do you think Ray Davis is going to go too high for us?
I don't know. I mean, we were huge on James Cook during the year, last year, all year. Trade for him, he won leagues. Trade for Jameson Williams, trade for him all year long, he won leagues. So, but then all of a sudden, they're not the best picks this year because their value went up. But the thing that you got to understand is like I said about a lot of the midseason monsters on this list, there's only a handful that are elite players, and we don't know what Corey Krosky-Merritt is. I think Ray Davis isn't an elite player. He's a very good player that could gobble up just like Mason did last year. Garendo feels borderline elite. Milroe could be like there. I believe Ray Davis is going to be advantageous, but I don't know that I would call him somebody that like, oh, everyone's going to just, in Dynasty lick their chops and be like, we made it. We did it. Look, Ma. I just don't know. Hold on a second. I don't love this pick, but I don't hate it. He's my wide receiver too. I'm going very light wide receiver shopping, and I went Ricky Pearsall. I just had to get somebody that's going to get a lot of targets. I think he'll get a lot of targets. I might shock some people with this next pick because I never take him. But this isn't horrible value. I think part of me talking, about him in such a way, lowers his value in drafts we do, and then I find him. I don't know. Let's see here. I'll just do it. I'll see how it feels. Matthew Golden this late. I don't like Matthew Golden. I don't know if I like that. It's weeklies, so I felt a little bit better about it, and he dropped in value because I talk him down so much in this community that like he fell a little bit further. But I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I think he could have some spike weeks though, I suppose. So it's not too bad. But Ricky, I've got a light wide receiver room. Neighbors, Ricky, Matthew Golden, Achane, Breece Hall, Monty, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Have I done better? Yes. That's one thing I've learned, Smitty, from you is bully QB such an advantage. It is, bro. If you do it right, you don't force it though. It has to be naturally. It has to be a natural fall. I expect more out of fellow KC fans than Dylan. I don't know what his problem was. I only said 6.
He gets his way.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're only going to get so many shots too. Like you get put in timeout, by the mods, by me. Like at some point, you're not going to return, and he's going to say something like, "I don't care. You're going to speak my mind," and then you're gone. And it's like, "Can you let me back in?" You know. Oh, you know what? You know who I should? I didn't realize Ibuka was still there. What's his ADP? And oh my God, where was he at? I would have taken Ibuka over Matthew Golden. What was his ADP? Oh, that makes me sick.
You got to take a lap. You got to take a lap.
I do. I do. I'll hit it for you. Jeez. In my defense, though, I running the phone lines and operating a live stream while drafting sometimes has me not making all of the on-point decisions. Let's go with good old Keon Coleman here. Damn it, I could have had Ibuka. That would have felt great about Ibuka. Where the hell was he? Why is he so low on here? Maybe this is normal. I don't know. I feel like this is not. I feel like he's got a higher ADP in non-weeklies. That's crazy, man. Oh, I'm on the clock. Tyler Warren, I don't have a tight end yet, so that works. Damn, that sucks. I would have loved to have had Ibuka. I didn't even feel the pick.
You have $3 or $5 drop that did. Ibuka was 93, $394 ADP.
Yeah. Not, on non-weeklies?
Yeah, weekly.
He just, maybe I missed him when I was scrolling, but he did go all the way down the entire round, so I don't think it was that crazy of a. Yeah, I think Ibuka goes a round earlier on non-weeklies. Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's where my mind was at. I was like, oh, we're in round whatever, that he's not here, and I didn't really scroll down to look. That sucks, but oh well. It's nice to have a little bit of variety. Like somebody could get hurt like that and ruin all of your drafts. So,
if something happens and does get traded, Ray Davis start going into the season. And in a redraft, you think he fifth week round? You think he jumps higher than that?
As a starter, like a clear starter, not like James Cook is coming back, like where he's like Cook is traded, he's the starter.
Traded.
Okay. I would say see where Tony Pollard is right there at the late 80s. Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson Jr., Cam Scatterboot. I can't see him being below those guys. I think Caleb Johnson, Aaron Jones, James Conner, Montgomery, those are the running backs he would be either at the bottom end of that group or somewhere in there.
The 7th round, 6th, 7th round, best ball. It's like redraft one QB. You think you would climb up into like the 5th or 6th round, 4th or 5th round as a starting running back on the Bills? Or
no, that was where I think he'll climb to initially if he's a starter, the lone starter. I think he'll be there because I think there'll still be some people that think.
Ball and redraft.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he could climb higher, but I don't think he gets into the Kenneth Walker, Alvin Kamara, Trey Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. I mean, like we're talking about the 60s, late 60s, or around the late 60s, where it's like maybe Connor, maybe Caleb Johnson and him are close or something like that. All right, hold on one second, boys. Let me make this pick here. We've got Bashal Tootin available. We've got Hollywood Brown available, and I do have Mahomey. We have let's go Tootin. Let's go Tootin shopping. It's another player that could pop off and have a big spike week. Colston Loveland went. Now I'm on the clock again. I know what I'm going to do here. This is a good pick. Luther Burden. I don't love his situation, but I love the player, and I think he overcomes a lot. So could he be better somewhere else? Maybe. Yeah. but is he still going to be electric? Yes. So Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, Keon Coleman, and Ricky Parasol to go with Neighbors. I think I'm okay at wide receiver. I think if people look at my wide receiver room, they're going to say it's really weak and everything. Of course it is, because I stacked running back, I double quarterbacked it, and there's reasons why, but I think it ends up being okay for weeklies. I think Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, Keon Coleman, Ricky Parasol, Neighbors, those guys are all capable of having a big week here or there, so I'm fine. And then my Monty, Tootin, Brees Hall, and let me go back up. So I'm the 11th spot, second to last on the right. Neighbors, Achane, Joe Burrow, Brees Hall, Patrick Mahomes, David Montgomery. This is one quarterback I bully QB'd. Ricky Parasol, Matthew Golden, Keon Coleman, Tyler Warren, Bashal Tootin, and Luther Burden. Luther Burden's a good pick. I feel like Luther Burden's going a round or more later, too. Who else is on the phone line? We got Bruce and Travis and Rock Out. What'd you say, Travis?
I was going to say, I hope Burden gets healthy. I always worry when you see these guys pop up with like multiple soft tissue injuries early, get worried that it's going to hamper him all year. I mean, he's got plenty of time to get healthy.
Mm-hmm. Man, I wish I had Ibuka. Damn it. I'd have felt a lot better about my team. I don't know who I'm going to take here. I'll put the picks on the board next time, so you guys can see who I have potentially available. Tillman, Braylon Allen. I don't know that I feel the need to cuff here. I might be taking a player. Let me see where his ADP is and see if I can wait or not. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't. I got to take him with one of these picks if I want him. So there might be somebody I'm going to reach a little bit on here, just because I think it's important to grab. I'm gonna take him now because I'm gonna time out. Pat Bryant. I think Pat Bryant is a very, very nice sleeper this year. He really could rise up big time.
I have another one for you, Smitty. You said they might have the same ADP around. Would you rather have Darb or Ray get booked away?
I mean, Ray Davis, if he's starting. I mean, you got to take the starter, I think. But I still think Charbonnet, if he got in there, would be way better. Look, Charbonnet is one of the hardest players to rank because he's a top 5 running back if he's starting. And there's a really good chance that he starts at least 5 games this year is my total, guesstimation. But yeah, I think Charbonnet is a secret weapon, win a league player. There's a reason he goes so high in drafts where he's kind of getting drafted where some players are still kind of deemed starters and he's getting taken. He's a top 5 running back if he's starting. And Walker could get traded. I mean, it's still possible. Guys, if you want to draft in this next time, Underdog promo code Smitty. Link is in the live chat. I'll drop the link one more time. It's pinned in the live chat. It's in the description of the video. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. So if you drop the minimum of $10, they'll give you $5. You drop the maximum, well, it's not the maximum, but they'll match it 50% all the way up to $1,000. So if you drop $2,000, they give you $1,000 in bonus credit. But you can just do 10 minimum and get $5 and have $15 to draft with. And these weeklies are 10. And there's $5 drafts. There's, they come out with $3 drafts. So basically, you could get into a $5 draft. The super flexes are $5. So if you did a $10 minimum, you'd have 3 drafts because they give you $5. But click the link that's in the live chat. Click the link that's pinned in the live chat. Click the link in the description or use code Smitty. And you'll be ready to go. All you have to do is have the app downloaded, and we'll tell you all when to jump in. We'll do it like we did tonight and just jump in. I don't know how I feel about this team. I'll be honest. Do I think I'm winning 20K with this team? Probably not. And sometimes it's hard with our group to do that anyway because we're taking all of our favorite players. Everybody's sniping the hell out of everybody. But Malik Neighbors, Achane, Joe Burrow, Breece Hall, Mahomes, they started off hot. Monty's even a good pick, but some of the sleeper wide receivers I would have wanted that could have fallen outside of a draft that we're doing together could have fallen. Like Debo going to Rock Out. No offense, Rock Out. That was really early. You are a Commander fan too, so there's like a double whammy there. I don't know where his ADP was. Maybe it was higher on the board when you were on the clock, and it's not a bad pick. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying like
a little early.
Yeah, like you can't. Yeah, like I would have got him at 59 10 times out of 10 and had a team that's going to look so much different. So that's why I tend to do drafts without telling you guys when I'm jumping in so you can see a proper draft. Cuz these make it a lot more difficult to get the guys that you're touting. Debo's going to be a monster this year. And he would have been a fantastic wide receiver too for this team. So just know that you get something like that and it looks a whole lot different. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna take 10 seconds left. Okay, maybe one of my last wide receivers. I think Keenan Allen's got a lot of potential. I take him a lot.
Where he ends up. Thinking the Chargers talking about, but
yeah,
I have a full room. They brought back Mike Williams. Brought back some guys.
Mm-hmm.
Amari, I wouldn't know where they.
What do I think about your team in pick 2? Let me look. I'll just look real quickly. I'm not going to go over all the rosters, but I'll just kind of glance around. Pick 1, I don't like the DJ Moore pick, but it's a pretty good team. Godwin pick, I hate that pick too, but his weeklies, because if he sits out 2, 3, 4 weeks, it doesn't matter. He'll come back and you'll have a chance to win, 20K later in the year. Buka was a great pick. You cuffed him to Godwin, so that's good. You have a good team. I just don't like the DJ Moore pick, but other than that, it's still a good team. It's still a really good team. Bijan, Jaden Daniels from the 2 spot. Chase Brown, DK, George Pickens, Kelsey, Fields. Yeah, that's a good team. Chase Brown, Bijan. Yeah, it's good. Chase Brown I love, but I always find him it's a little bit hard for me to love him as a top of round 3 pick. I just think it put you in a situation where, and I love Chase Brown, but where I feel like you're kind of almost missing a player. That's what happens when you reach a little early on a player. Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Josh Allen. I hate the Josh Allen pick in round 2. JMO, don't love that in round 4 at all. Yeah. James Cook, you're cooked. Gibbs in the 4 slot. Lamar, Marvin Harrison, Worthy, Devontae Smith, Juwan Jennings, Kyler Murray. Let's see who's your running back 2, bro? I mean, you punted it all the way into round 12. Bigsby, Algier, Jalen Wright. I mean, I think your team's great, but you're not gonna be able to sustain. Ray G from the 5, JJ, JT, Ladd, George Kittle, Chuba, Addison, Bo Nix, Cooper Kupp. Solid. CeeDee Lamb, Bowers, Garrett Wilson, Hampton, Trey Henderson, like that. The Hampton Hendy or the Harvey Hampton or the Harvey Hendy running back 1 and running back 2 was going wide receiver, quarterback, or going wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver. It's such a fun approach to go with your running back 1 and running back 2 being two of Harvey, Hampton, and Hendy. It's such a fun approach. I like the team. Puka, Bucky, Jalen Hurts, RJ Harvey, Debo, Calvin Ridley, Jaden Reed, Evan Ingram. Yeah, rock out, good team. Probably top 5 for sure. McCaffrey, McBride, Rasheed Rice. Hold on, let me make my pick here. Could use an RB. Where was I at? McCaffrey, McBride, Rasheed Rice, Hunter, Kenneth Walker, Judkins, Jonnu, Dak. Yeah, good team. Top 5-6 team. Ashton Genty, Drake London, T. Higgins, Mike Evans, Joe Mixon, Zay Flowers. It's all going to hinge on Joe Mixon. Henry, Amon-Ra, Tyreek, McLaurin, Kamara, Tet McMillan, Aaron Jones, Swift. Solid. And then I'm on the clock again. Where was I at? Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra, Tyreek, Terry McLaurin, Alvin Kamara. It's not bad. My team, Neighbors, Achane, Burrow, Hall, Patrick Mahomes, David Montgomery, Ricky Pearsall, Matthew Golden, Keon Coleman, Tyler Warren, Bashal Tootin, Luther Burden, Pat Bryant, Jalen McMillan. It's solid. I think I'm top 5 or 6, but I don't think I'm with a clear winner here or anything. Nico, I could already tell I'm not going to love this team. Just too much of one position. You're clearly not drafting the best player available. You're drafting a position. When you draft 5 straight wide receivers, you are. It's literally like, why not draft off an Excel sheet? Why not put a blindfold on and just organize by wide receiver column and eliminate and gray out the running backs, gray out the quarterbacks, gray out the tight ends, and just start hitting the top player every time. Like, what are we doing with this team? Nico, BTJ, JSN, Adams, and Cortland Sutton. I mean, awesome wide receiver room it is. James Conner, Tony Pollard, Hawkinson, double tight end without even addressing the RB still. Ramondre, no shot in hell. An auto draft team's got a better shot than that. I'm sorry, T Long. You want me to be honest with it? That's the way it is. All right, boys. Let me go over to Bruce real quick. Wrap it up. Bruce, anything else?
No, it was a good show, and we'll see what happens if Cook actually does get moved. We'll see what happens to Ray Davis.
All right, my boy. Appreciate you. Who was that in the 12th spot? Was that you, Matt? Matt said, ouch. I don't know. Lesson learned, maybe. You can't draft like that. You can't draft all one position. You're not drafting the best player available. It's my example of, it's like going into a chess game and saying, I'm going to move these 7 moves in a row when the board's not where it needs to be. You got to look at the board. All right, go ahead, rock out.
Do you think Amari Cooper gets picked up by anybody? I took a flyer on him.
Yeah, Cooper and Keenan Allen are kind of good picks in the double-digit rounds, like deep as you can get them, though. Like, use the ADP to your advantage, but they're pretty good. You could almost grab both of them in any best ball drafting. You're probably going to get some run out of them.
You get why Keenan Allen has time. You didn't do a ton down the stretch, but Allen has pretty solid.
That's not me drafting Smitty at the, okay, just making sure. You said ouch, and I didn't. It almost looked as though I graded your team. Yeah, it's weird. I think he's gonna go. I'm pretty sure it wasn't AI. You don't even know anymore. But in some of the photos, where Hampton was walking in and shaking hands with Harbaugh, and that one weird photo with the angle and everything. Or no, it was Najee. You're right. It was the Najee photos, the overweight photos that were, two crazy angle photos. Who's the photographer over there? You know what I mean? I didn't even think about it. Who's the photographer over there? Yeah. They made Najee look heavy, and they made Hampton look like he was, Incredible Hulk. And they were all angle issues.
intern photographer.
Yeah, total intern. But then you had you know, in the background in one of the photos, you had Keenan Allen sitting there in one of the chairs when Najee was standing there talking to the coaching staff. And so he was in-house talking to him at that moment. So I think he probably does sign with the Chargers. But he's definitely been linked to like 2 or 3 teams. 903, real quick, because I'm on the way out the door. What do you got? You're live. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
Calling from Texas.
What's up?
And I got fucking sniped. I just wanted to tell you because you graded my team.
the four spot?
I got sniped at running back. Yeah. I had Gibbs, but then I got sniped on my.
Yeah.
I just kind of.
Yeah, your team just lacking RB for sure. I don't know where you could have maybe like Trey Henderson at 52 would have been a smart pick for you because the running backs were flying off. Like at that point, I probably would have said Devontae Smith doesn't help me as much as Trey Henderson. I think you would have done that. You would have been probably pretty well off.
Didn't see him. Shit, you right. If I'd have saw Trey, I would have grabbed him. Yeah. I wasn't looking. Damn.
All right, man.
Feel like I wasted my money.
No, you never know. It's also learning experience. You figure it out, and practicing in these scenarios sometimes makes you even sharper when you're not drafting with this crew. Because you're seeing things, but always use the ADP to your advantage. In these drafts, it's really hard. Like Trey Henderson is going to go 8 spots ahead of his ADP. Harvey's going to go 10 spots ahead of his ADP, and it's not advised. That's not a good thing. I'm not trying to pat everybody on the back. You got to be careful. To use ADP to your advantage, not draft off ADP, use it to your advantage, manipulate it. But a lot of people are going to just grab show guys that we talk about and they're just going to, gobble them up way too early. And then it's crazy, bro. All right. Anything else?
Yeah. Man, I'm hoping one of these guys help me out, man. Jalen Wright, praising him. Hopefully he gets
yeah. All right, man. All right, you got to stop with the F-bombs constantly. It's not that I don't like swearing. It's just like when you do it 3 times on your call, you're gonna get hung up on because it's about the monetization, and then it it's. I know a lot of people don't care. There's a lot of fun, cool, hip YouTubers that will swear every time they speak. I'm not somebody that hates swearing, but when you call into a phone line, like why are you gonna drop the F-bomb 5 times? Why do you need to when I'm telling you I don't want that on the phone line for the monetization of the video? Because then it gets, it's not like it hurts the channel. It's just this video gets limited. So, final thoughts, rock out. You can call in again, bro. I'm not mad at you, but just like, that's just so you understand. Rock out, final thoughts. I just explained it, MT, like immediately.
Everybody needs to take a little build the late round, and he'll be a breakout candidate.
Attaboy. All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Cool. Travis, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just on James Cook. I might have missed it because I missed a couple of minutes. Did you mention like where the best landing spot would even be? Because
no, we didn't talk about it.
The team's even eating.
Chicago.
I guess
Chicago doesn't have. They don't have a running back really. I mean, you could call Swift a running back, but he's more of like a. I don't know. So Dallas could look into it. Chicago could look into it. Let's see here. Commanders could look into it. Cowboys, yeah, Cowboys, Bears, Commanders, and then over in the AFC. Wouldn't that be crazy if like everyone's gonna say it's not possible, but what if Harbaugh bring in another back? We love having bodies. Bring in James Cook. People would be like, the Jets. I mean, look, the Jets could do the same thing. Jets could be. I don't think they will, but the Jets they're all about running the damn ball. KC, I don't see them making a trade for an RB. What, Travis? The Bengals the Bengals visited with multiple top 30. Like, you can say that they aren't a threat to it. They could. You don't know. I don't think they have the money for it. But they could trade for him and say, we're not giving an extension, but then he'd just hold out again, so it's probably not going to happen.
That's kind of the point, too, is like, wherever he goes, like, and it's the same with ETN, too. If either of them go somewhere, it just kind of throws a wrench into it.
Yeah.
It's
And the Pickens not getting an extension with the trade is very rare. Usually when a player is traded for, the team that gives up draft capital to acquire said player in a contract year or near the end of their contract, they don't want to give up the draft capital if they're not getting the player extended. They clearly want the player. So don't think just because Pickens didn't get extended that's a normal thing. So if Cook got traded, he would probably 95% be extended. Ravens, no. Bills, I don't know if they would trade for like Walker just to, I think if they're not paying Cook, they're not paying anybody. So I don't think they're trading for Walker if anybody's curious about that. Texans, look, I like Woody Marks, but you never know. Broncos, no. Chiefs, no. Colts, no. Dolphins, no. Patriots, no. Jaguars, no. Raiders, no. The bottom line for Cook is you've got the Bears, the Cowboys, the Commanders, and like maybe a Chiefs would contemplate it, but probably won't. But you never know. Right. And then that's kind of it. Titans, they could. They're in build mode. Yeah, they might look at Cook as a future piece, though. If possible.
He would be an upgrade, actually. Yeah.
Pollard did pretty good last. Yeah.
Yeah, the land something.
I would say that would be one of the not likely, but top of the list of the not likelies, maybe. So yeah, that's about it. Not a lot of spots at all. We got a super chat here from Jonathan Coble. Coble, appreciate you, my boy. He says, recently back from Europe, and it's great catching back up on the content. Loved your Hunter Bowl predictions. The kid is special. Get him while you can. Coble, people don't know what's coming. They don't. And I've got a Hunter video on the way, so we can smash Hunter videos all day long till our heart's content. We got another super chat here from Marcus, who says, sorry about the cussing, Smitty. I'll remember it next time. Marcus, and I'm never mad. And I promise you, I probably will not remember the next time you call in that you even did that. So please don't feel bad. I want it. This is what I do so people understand. Appreciate you. One time's not like always the end of the world, but like it's just, and again, I know that the cool hip YouTubers, they say, the F-bombs and I'm not afraid to swear. I swear all the time. Does my personality seem like a person that doesn't curse? Like, let's be real. But this is on YouTube, and YouTube has been less stringent about it. But it's still, it's all about future-proofing the content too, because, they change and flop around on that. But also, it does change, some of the ads that you could get, Like, do you want only bowling ads? Or... and the Hunter hate is mind-blowing. It certainly is, Coble. It's crazy. It is crazy. You start cursing too much and we're going to get only, male enhancement, pill ads. So, didn't the Bills trade to the Chiefs already give them Mahomes and Worthy? Why not add James Cook, says Bleeko? Maybe. Appreciate the super chat, Marcus. Thank you, Coble, for the double. You guys absolutely rock to the moon. And I will see you all tomorrow. Multiple times tomorrow. You hear me? Multiple shows tomorrow. You understand the words coming out of my mouth? Dynasty video. Another live stream. Travis, anything? Hey, maybe we do our first preemptive waiver wire show tomorrow. Week 1 waiver wire. Let's do that tomorrow. Or evening, because we do that on Sunday evenings. Let's let it rip.
Good one. Later.
All right, later, Travis. See you on the Patreon. Probably be on the Patreon. All right, we'll go to the Patreon. For those that don't know, the Patreon is $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Drop the link in the live chat, and I'll pin it real quickly. Again, click that link that's pinned if you want to draft with us tomorrow night. You want to click that link and be signed up on Underdog. But this link right here that I'm going to pin is for the Patreon. It's $10 a month. Cancel anytime. It really is a no-nonsense environment where people are paying $10 a month to not have it be a, the Discord was like toxic and people were there that weren't even supportive of the channel or the mindset. They're a bunch of know-it-alls all the time, just running people off the Discord. The Patreon is just nothing but positivity, and you'll get booted if you're a negative Noah. So it's basically the live chat group that you see, the very helpful people that are in this live stream that love and support this brand and the channel over on the live chat, always live Patreon, 365, 24/7. And let me fix this 10, where's the 10 live chat? Let me fix this because there's not even 10 live chats anymore. It's just we've narrowed it down to 4 just to make it really, it's 24/7 live chat is what it really is. What is going on here? I just edited it. 24/7 live chat. 24/7. There we go. 24/7 live chat, and that link has been dropped in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video. It's also you can find it at patreon.com/the fantasy football show. Tons of ways to find it. I'll be over there. In fact, I'm going to type in there right now. And I pretty much do this every night now, where I go into the general chat. Let me just refresh it here. Go into the general chat and I say, hey, all, any late night host show topics. Boom. I'm in there waiting to live chat with all of you right now. Let's go over your teams. Let's go over bold predictions, questions, whatever. I'm in there right now. That link is dropped in the live chat and pinned right now. It's in the description of the video if you need it. See you all over there. And tomorrow, again, we have 2 shows tomorrow. Be here for it. Be ready for it. At least 2 shows. Maybe we do 3. Maybe I do a Dynasty upload. I do a midday live stream. And I do an evening waiver wire, preemptive week 1 waiver wire show so that you all have the players that people are going to race to the waiver wire after week 1 explosions, after Woody Marks has 150 and a touch or something, or Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, or Ray Davis. People like that get into the lineup and score and drop loads, and everybody races to the waiver wire and they go, why does Matt Huff have this guy already? Why does Aaron have this guy? Why does Caps already have this guy? Why does DJ already have Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt? I don't understand. Why does Crushing have him? Why does all these guys have him? TheFantasyFootballShow.com. See you all later. Appreciate you. Deuces. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally live whenever big news breaks, and additionally live midnight Eastern almost every single night. We're live most of the time, 3 times a day on the channel. See you all on the Patreon right now. Deuces. Kruger, you want to say something to the people? You want to tell the people to get on over to the Patreon where we're live chatting 24/7, 365, staying loose, staying liquid, staying ever flowing. Tell the people goodbye. Tell them to get on over to Patreon.
All right, you got them. Get on over to the Patreon where we're live chatting 24/7, 365. Staying loose, staying liquid, staying ever flowing. Drop a deuce on that like button on your way out. We'll see you on Patreon, folks.
Hey, Kruger, real quickly, you heard the news that James Cook, the running back for the Buffalo Bills, who had his roughly 19 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns last year, sum total on the year. He's holding out. He sold his home. He's Adam Schefter, NFL insider, said that we probably won't see James Cook in Buffalo for some time as he holds out, wants a new contract, wants to be paid like a top 5 running back. Buffalo doesn't do that. In the exciting rookie from last year walking into his sophomore season, Ray Davis might be called upon. What are you thinking, Kruger? Don't give us any long-winded answer. One sentence, maybe 2. Go. Damn it, Kruger. I don't think Kruger heard any of that. Kruger, James Cook holding out. Adam Schefter said might not see him in Buffalo for some time. The holdout seems real. He wants to be paid like a top 5 running back. Ray Davis, the rookie from last year, entering as a sophomore, had 6 touchdowns total, wants to step up. We want him to step up. What do you think about it? No long-winded answers, about a sentence or 2. What do you think?
If Cook's holdout drags on, Ray Davis could get a big boost in opportunity. Davis showed promise last year, and he might capitalize if Cook isn't back soon. It's a situation to watch closely.
Give me a prediction of how this is going to go, Kruger. Do you think, like, look, you got injury risk too, right? You hold out, you're more likely to get injured. Give us a prediction. How many yards rushing, how many touchdowns rushing, how many total touchdowns, and how many started games does Ray Davis have in 2025?
My prediction, if Cook's holdout continues into the season, Ray Davis could start around 10 to 12 games.
Jeez.
800 to 900 rushing yards.
Jeez.
Score 6 to 8 rushing touchdowns and total 8 to 10 touchdowns.
All right, let's calm down a little bit. Let's say Cook comes back, though, because he's not going to really hold out, right? Let's say he comes back, but he's held out a lot. The injury risk is high. He misses some games because of the holdout. Now give me your optimistic Oscar prediction for Ray Davis.
All right, optimistic Oscar prediction. If Cook returns but is limited or misses time due to the holdout, Davis could still shine. Think around 600 to 700 rushing yards, 5 to 6 rushing touchdowns, and maybe 7 to 9 total touchdowns. He could carve out a solid role even with Cook back in the mix.
I like that prediction there. He could have 500 or 600 total yards. He could have maybe 7 touchdowns on the year, maybe 7 to 8, 7 to 9. This is why Davis is a mid-season monster. Is because I really do think that Davis has the potential, if he has the potential for 6 total touchdowns last year in a total reserve role all year long, Davis has the potential for that 7 to 9, carve out a role. They like the kid a lot. Cook held out, lost some of his touches already. They game planned as if having both these guys in a split backfield makes sense for them as the Buffalo Bills. Hard to predict their rushing attack from year to year. Hard to predict their workload to anybody. I think Keon Coleman should have a bounce back year. Hard to predict that that's going to happen because we're so bent out of shape out of how Coleman didn't step up. That's the way it goes. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you.